Hunting in the early 1800s is very different than it is today. Laws and regulations were unidentified. People were taking control of game animals, maybe even too much control. Wildlife population was reducing while the mass of hunters was increasing. Hunters started to diminish the wildlife populations before laws were made closer to the early 1900s. If laws weren't assembled, there would be very few game animals in the United States of America. During the 1800s, there was an insufficient number of hunting laws. Timothy Van Dalen, assistant professor of UW Department of Forest and Wildlife Ecology, states that there are very few hunting laws in the late 1800s, and the wildlife in Wisconsin declined pretty dramatically because of the unregulated hunting by settlers. Before hunting laws were established, thousands of animals were harvested so that people could sell the meat, hides, furs, and feathers for decoration, food, and warmth, therefore minimizing wildlife population, at least in the beginning of the 1800s and leading towards the beginning of 1900s. One very well-known extinction, the passenger pigeon. There were no laws against the passenger pigeon, therefore their population was wiped out. Another well-known extinction is the elk. Elk went extinct in Wisconsin. An article written by the DNR of Wisconsin states they were extirpated from Wisconsin in the mid to late 1800s, with the onset of European settlement due to overhunting and rapid decline in habitat. An attempt at bringing elk back to the state in the 1930s failed because of poaching, and the last 4 elk were reportedly killed in 1948. As a matter of fact, if hunters totally diminish one species, it doesn't only affect the species that hunters just eliminated, but it affects the other species of animals, insects, or plants as well. For example, the Kaibab deer population. The Kaibab deer population was taking place in Arizona, and it is where everyone executed nearly all the predators of deer in the state of Arizona. According to an article called What Happened to the Deer, written by the Arizona Game and Fish Department, states records show that from about 1905 to 1931, a total of 781 mountain lions, 30 wolves, 4,849 coyotes, and 554 bobcats were killed. Now that all those animals were eliminated, the deer population expanded rapidly. It came to a point where all the deer devoured what they had left, and then later they died of starvation. On the other hand, today's hunting laws are extremely precise and strict. November 21st, 2015 was the opening gun deer season. The DNR states that when hunters purchase their license, they receive 1 buck tag that can be used anywhere within the state of Wisconsin. A buck is classified as a deer that has antlers that are 3 inches or longer. They also receive 1 antlerless tag where they will need to designate the county they will be hunting in, as well as they will be hunting on public or private land. Adding on to this, Paul A. Smith, a newspaper journalist, states that in the year of 2015, hunters are limited to 1 buck with their bow license and 1 buck with their gun license. To help the deer herd increase in parts of northern Wisconsin, 8 counties have buck-only rules this year to help protect female deer. We reached the old wolf in time to watch a fierce green fire dying in her eyes. I realized then, and have known ever since, that there was something new to me in those eyes. Something known only to her and to the mountain. I was young then and full of trigger itch. I thought that because fewer wolves meant more deer, that no wolves would mean hunter's paradise. But after seeing the green fire die, I sensed that neither the wolf nor the mountain agreed with such a view. Aldo Leopold, Thinking Like a Mountain. Hunting since the early 1800s has changed an enormous amount. The hunting laws and regulations sustain the way hunters hunt today. Because of these laws, animals are able to stay at manageable amounts. Because of these laws, wildlife is very unlikely to die of starvation. If the laws weren't created, then the wildlife that is now existing may have been demolished and its population long before today.